Yo, guys, hello and welcome to my brand new F126 Red Bull Academy career mode. In this career mode, we're going to look to start in the Racing Bull team and work our way up and eventually topple the four-time world champion Max Verstappen. A lot of rumours going around IRL that he may be stepping away from Red Bull at the end of the season, potentially going to McLaren. So we are going to show the bosses at Red Bull that we should be taking that seat either next season or the season after. Our teammate this season is going to be ARVID LINDBLAD. It was a close call between him and Liam Lawson, but I've been really impressed with ARVID LINDBLAD this season in real life. So we are going to give him a shot and we are going to go up against the rookie and try and claim that second Red Bull seat for next season. And just a few things before we get into round one here in Australia. What does this mean for the Aston Martin career mode on the channel? I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to end it there unless you guys want me to carry that one as well. But to be honest, I see a lot of people on YouTube already doing Aston Martin, Cadillac, Audi career modes. And there's a lot better people out there to watch if you want an Aston Martin career mode. And I don't see anyone doing this kind of thing on YouTube. So hopefully you guys will understand that. Secondly, I'm going to try and keep these Red Bull Academy career mode videos to under 20 minutes, a little bit shorter than my team career mode with Minardi. And if you haven't checked that out, by the way, go and check that out because we're doing really well in that so far. On screen at the moment, you're seeing the assists that I'll be running for this career mode. So yeah, if you're interested, maybe slow that down and have a little look. And lastly, from me in this intro, it would be an absolute dream if we could hit 500 subs before the end of the year. So if you want to make a man's dream come true, then please like, subscribe, view the video. And yeah, hopefully one day I can get monetized on this. It would be an absolute dream. And yeah, daily F1 content on the channel at 5 p.m. But enough waffling from me. Let's get into qualifying. So going to get a banker on the board here. Our first lap in qualifying. Nice time there, P5. But yeah, we picked the Racing Bulls and the Red Bull for this Academy Challenge because they have got basically the best looking cars this year, in my opinion. And I don't drive the Red Bulls that often, so yeah, why not? As we make it through in the first qualifying session of the year, ARVID LINDBLAD unfortunately not making it through, but we scrape through with the skin of our teeth. Now, if you're wondering why we didn't start in the F2, as we get a fault in Q2, so not an ideal start there, but yeah, as you may know, we cannot drive the F2 cars in career mode on the F126 DLC, so that we're gonna have to wait for F127, but yeah, Q2 now, get a bank on the board, in last place currently. It was on used tyres, but our final lap in Q2 here, and we're going to go on board for the full lap as we get a really good run through the first two corners, 2 tenths up by the time we get into turn 3. A little bit early on the turn-in, which bottoms the car out on the curb, but haven't lost too much time, still about 2 tenths up in the first sector of this lap. A little bit of Lyco as well to save the battery, but we get a really good run through the quick right left onto the back straight, nearly half a second up now, about 4 tenths now, and we're bleeding away because we've saved a bit more battery this run around. But yeah, going through the quick left right chicane here in Albert Park, get really close to track limits, but now we are nearly half a second up as we run out of battery down into the 90-degree right-hander. Decent run on the curb on the exit. 6 tenths up now as we go into the penultimate corner, and we go a little bit deep. Really struggling in that corner this weekend so far, but 7 tenths up on the run towards the line. And where are we going to come? P12, not quite into Q3, but we will take it. Fernando Alonso actually put in a really good performance in the Aston Martin there, but let's move into the race.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Piastri, George Russell and Antonelli, Verstappen, Albon, Sainz and Pierre Gasly, Alonso, Richards, Isaac Hadjar and Colapinto, Perez, Bottas, Nico Hulkenberg and Esteban Ocon, Behrman, Lindblad, Stroll and Gabriel Bortoleto rounds off the grid. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So yeah, really good qualifying for the first round of the season here at Albert Park. Going to dump the fuel out. Pretty easy one stop around here, so we will be going from hards to mediums. And yeah, hoping for a really good start here. Can we beat one of the Red Bull drivers in our first race? Let's get into the race and find out. So, round one here in Australia. It's lights out and away we go from P12 on the grid. Isaac Hadjar actually starting behind us. We managed to out-qualify him here at the first round of the season. Cautious into turn one, looking for the switchback on Gasly and Alonso. But yeah, we're going to take it quite cautious into this first lap. Do not want to get any damage here. 50% race, so plenty can happen as we go up the inside of Alonso. Little bit aggressive there, but still getting used to a full tank of fuel here. And yeah, decent start, not quite in the top 10 yet, but we're going to get on the battery nice and early. And obviously you should know by now that AI are not great on this straight on the first lap, so we are going to attack Carlos Sainz, another former Red Bull man. And yeah, we're going to stick it around the outside of the fast left. A little bit deep into the right, but we are going to hold this position for now. So good start already into the points on the opening lap here. And behind Pierre now, another Red Bull Academy driver. So yeah, plenty of these guys on the grid. So hopefully that bodes well for the future of this career mode. But yeah, a little bit squirmy at the final corner, but we are going to move on straight away to the start of lap 3. And we have a certain 4-time world champion in Max Verstappen ahead of us already in this race. It's taken us 3 laps and he is sliding around like crazy already in this race, burning up them rear tyres. Gasly actually managing to get past him on the previous lap, so the Red Bull man that we want his seat or to be his teammate for next season is struggling already in this race. As we're closing up to the back of him on the back straight, we're going to go round the outside and overtake him straight away in this career mode. We leave him a little bit of room on the inside, which compromises us for the next corner, but by the end of lap 3, we are going to be ahead of the 4-time world champion, and Carlos Sainz manages to get past him as well. So a nightmare start for the Red Bull boys here in Australia. But yeah, making it slow progression in this one as we get our first track limit warning of the weekend. We go way too early over that apex. But moving a lap later, going through the same corner, and Charles Leclerc has blown up here already on lap 6 of the Australian Grand Prix.
And some information on Leclerc. They're retiring from the race.
So yeah, 1 extra position for us already. As the safety car gets deployed, Gasly peels into the pits and the red flag is out.
Safety car deployed. Safety car's been
Wow.
deployed.
Now I didn't know this at the time, but Leclerc pulls over, as you can see on the screen, and Franco Colapinto actually blows up at the same time in the Alpine. We didn't get a message on screen for that, but I assume because there's 2 cars stranded on track, that is why they called the red flag. And yeah, we are going to go from the mediums to the hards for the next stint of the race, but a crazy opening stint of this Grand Prix. Will there be more to come in this race? I can almost guarantee it. No need to worry about the tyre wear now. We should be able to drive flat out to the end of the race. So for the second time this weekend, we have 5 red lights. And away we go. On lap 9 of the Australian Grand Prix now, we go to the outside of Pierre into turn 1. Going to take it nice and cautiously as Hadjar actually sends it up the inside of us, where we are going to do everything we can to hold him off. We want his seat for next season, so we are not going to make it easy for the Frenchman. But yeah, taking it nice and easy into this first sector. Russell looks a little bit vulnerable on the exit, but he's in a Mercedes. He should be faster than us. We're going to let him have it for the moment as Hadjar really unexpectedly gets round the outside of us as we Lyco, but we get straight on the boost and get him back straight away. An audacious move from the Red Bull man there. Really good move. But he could not make it stick, and we are back into P8 in this Grand Prix as Russell sticks his nose up the inside of Pierre there, compromises his line, and we get out of the chicane, put the battery on, and this could be the chance on the Mercedes man, but we think better of it. Like I said, he's in a faster car. Hopefully he can pick his way through and we can pick up the scraps off of him. But yeah, good opening lap to the restart here at Albert Park. Now, Pierre really weirdly pits after the restart on the first lap, so maybe some damage for the former Red Bull man there, but we will take it. P7 now, and moving on to halfway through lap 10. Russell's light is flashing, so we are going to take the opportunity to absolutely blast past the Mercedes man there. Good stuff from us there. And yeah, going through that chicane, we're going to keep the battery on to defend from the Mercedes man, and we do that indeed. He sticks his nose up the inside, but we hold that outside line, get the better traction. And yeah, really good restart. P6. Lap later, Alex Albon is ahead of us. The engineer wants us to get past Alex here, another former Red Bull man on the grid, and we are going to do that round the outside into the fast left-right chicane. And yeah, up into P5 now. Incredible start to the season for the Racing Bull man, but Albon's going to send it back down the inside. Really good move from the Williams man there, and we're going to let him have that. And yeah, halfway through lap 14 now, we pick up our second track limit warning, so have to be really careful for the rest of this race now. Coming on towards the end of lap 17 now, we just lost the boost overtake mode on Alex ahead of us, so we decide to box onto our final stint in this race, which will be the hard compound tyres. Pace is looking good in this race though. I'm not going to complain about that, as we have a really good 2.4 second pit stop in the opening round. Cannot complain with that. Now we'll be racing on the exit here. As a couple of cars fly past us, we're going to emerge in P19 in this race, behind yet another former Red Bull man in Sergio Perez. So yeah, it does not take us long to get on the back of the Cadillac as we overtake him round the outside. And then we're going to go for Lance Stroll as well, because we do not want to be stuck behind him in that Aston Martin. That would be an absolute race ender. Not quite enough battery to go for it on our teammate here, ARVID LINDBLAD, but we're going to stick behind him for the rest of the lap, get the boost for the next lap, and luckily he peels into the pit lane, as does a number of other drivers. So we are going to come out in P12, and Albon and Piastri are just coming out the pit lane. We have to adjust our racing line into turn 1, and we managed to pick up a place on Albon, so the undercut doing us absolute wonders in this race. And yeah, behind the McLaren man of Piastri, but it's going to be really hard to keep up with him. And as you can see, end of the next lap, up into P5 again. Piastri is absolutely gone, but we come out just behind Antonelli there, as he has a poor exit out of turn 1 after just coming out the pit lane. But yeah, not close enough to send it on the Mercedes man there. And yeah, moving on to the end of lap 20 now, a brief yellow flag. as we're trying to stick with the guys ahead. We have managed to do the last few laps, but he's going to go side by side with Oscar into turn one. And the safety car
No overtaking, reduce your pace. Keep
is
your delta
deployed
number
yet
positive
again
as we
in this
form up.
race. Incredible. And yeah, it stays out for a few laps. Start of lap 24 now, and we get underway again. Antonelli looking very vulnerable on the safety car restart, but we are not close enough to look at him into turn one. We do get a really, really good run though out of that corner, straight on the boost, and we're going to go to the outside of the Mercedes man here, and we get the job done. P4 now on debut. An incredible start to the season. A lap later though, it doesn't last for long. We are already out of battery halfway down the back straight, and Antonelli is going to look to overtake us, so we're just going to let him through there. Hopefully that means we can stay with him, get the boost for the next lap, and I don't know, maybe try and retake him in this race. But we unfortunately can't. We move on to the penultimate lap, and Russell sends it down the inside of turn 3 and gets the position, so down into P6 now. Would still be a great result for us. But yeah, Russell coming back towards the end of the race. We get really squirmy out of the right-hander onto the back straight. And yeah, we're going to deploy the battery and look to stay with George here, or even repass him as he's flashing towards the end of the straight. We're going to push him to the inside a bit. He makes contact with our side pod, so we give him a bit of room. And yeah, we managed to get the position. But that is not going to be it. Russell is going to come back at us as we Lyco into the 90-degree right-hander, but we are not having any of that. We do in turn run deep, and he is going to send it into the final sector here, so we will let him go. And we will have one more lap in this race to try and regain the P5 here at Albert Park. Also, Carlos Sainz on the back of us as well. Russell looking vulnerable into turn 1. We feint to the inside to disrupt his line, and we do just that, but he gets a decent exit off of the corner. We use a bit of boost, but we are not going to be close enough into turn 3. So yeah, really tense final lap here. Verstappen still behind us, so by the looks of it, if it ends like this, we will be the highest ranking Red Bull driver at the Australian Grand Prix in terms of position, points and championship standing. So yeah, if you offered me that at the start, I would have taken it, but we are not done yet. We are going to go down the inside of Russell on the straight. He cuts across us fairly aggressively, so we back out of it. Set the exit up off this left-right chicane, and we get a really good run. We drain the rest of our battery. Russell defends the inside. He leaves the gap open, so we're going to send it round the outside, give him a little squeeze on the apex. He does make contact and lose an end plate of his front wing, but a little bit erratic defensive driving there from Russell. But we gain the position, P5. So yeah, you're going to have to let me know in the comments if that move was valid. But we are going to come across the line and secure P5.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
So P5 on debut in the Racing Bulls, in the Red Bull Academy career mode. We cannot ask for much more than that. ARVID LINDBLAD finishing P18, so pretty underwhelming from him, but yeah, an exceptional start to this career mode. Above both of the Red Bull drivers. And yeah, we cannot ask for much more than that at this stage. And that is going to be all from me here at round 1 in Australia. If you do want me to carry on that Aston Martin career mode, leave AM in the comments down below. If not, then I'm probably going to sack that off. But if you did enjoy this video and the concept of it in itself, then please show some support and leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Daily uploads should be around 5 o'clock every day. And yeah, thank you all so much for joining me in this opening episode. Have a good evening and cheers.